Tell me, do you watch my reactions? You will. Is popping Phenos and Mr. Future Phenom. I can't even talk because I'm too excited. For years we've been wanting this. It will be an entirely new thing. Zack Snyder's 20 million plus Justice League cut plans revealed. Dog. Oh, dude, let's get into this article. We've been waiting for this. I knew it was going to happen. HBO Max will debut the project in 2021, possibly in a 4-hour director's cut or in a 6-style TV style chapters, as the Helmers get the game back together with the original post-production crew to score, cut, and finish visual effects. It was very early on a Monday morning in November when director Zack Snyder and his wife and producing partner Deborah Snyder received a call from their agent. Let's be a bit more precise. It was 7 a.m., but more importantly, it was the day after the second anniversary of the release of the Justice League, the DC superhero movie that Snyder was forced to exit due to a family emergency, which was then substantially reshot and retooled by replacement director Joss Whedon. In the time since its release, something unusual happened. A growing movement of fans rallied by the hashtag release the Snyder cut had called, agitated, petitioned, even bought a Times Square billboard and chartered a plane to fly a banner over Comic-Con for Snyder's version to be released. And on the film's second anniversary, the hashtag had its biggest day ever, with even the movie stars Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck adding their voices on Twitter. So here, the morning after, was their agent saying that Tom Emmerich, chairman of Warner Bros. Pictures, was acknowledging the movement and more importantly was willing to exceed. This is real. People out there want it. Would you guys ever consider doing something? Was what Emmerich was asking. The answer to Emmerich's question, a whispered about secret for months, was revealed Wednesday when Zack Snyder confirmed at the end of an online screening of his 2013 movie Man of Steel that his version of Justice League was indeed real and that it will be coming to HBO Max, the Warner Media digital streaming service, launching May 27th, and it is expected to debut in 2021. It is currently unclear what form Snyder's Justice League will take, whether it will be released as an almost 4-hour director's cut or split into 6 chapters. Has yet to be decided, but the Snyders are now in the midst of reassembling much of their original post-production crew to score, cut, and add new and finish old visual effects, and yes, maybe bring back many of the actors to record additional dialogue. Also unclear is the cost of the endeavor. One source has pegged the effort in the 20 million range, although another source says that figure could be closer to 30 million. The parties involved had no comment. It will be an entirely new thing, and especially talking to those who have seen the release movie, a new experience apart from that movie. Zack Snyder tells the Hollywood Reporter nothing that to this day he has not watched the version released in theaters. You probably saw 1/4 of what I did, the director notes, basing his judgment on what has been shared with him of Whedon's version. Before Emmerich's name calling at Snyder, I always thought it was a thing that in 20 years maybe somebody would do a documentary and I could lend them the footage, little snippets of a cut no one has ever seen. But adds Deborah Snyder, with the new platform and streaming service, you can have something like this. You can't release something like this theatrically, but you could with a streaming service. It's an opportunity that wasn't there 2 years ago, to be honest. It is a very unlikely development and the latest twist for a movie that has, like the Man of Steel himself, seen death and rebirth. Snyder was a unique position when he shot Justice League in 2016. Warner Bros. Had entrusted its universe of DC characters to one filmmaker, him, and he had been building toward a great on-screen team-up. Though not without some bumps in the road, he began with Man of Steel, which grossed $668 million worldwide, and followed up with Batman v Superman, the 2016 blockbuster that polarized fans with its dark take on the iconic titular heroes and took in $873 million globally. In 2017, he had what he considered his optimal version of Justice League, almost 4 hours long. Although he knew it was something the studio would not release, Warner's wanted a cut in a 2 hour range, and he delivered a rough version with an approximate 2 hours and 20 minutes running time. That was the first cut the studio saw. Both sides agreed that there was much work still to be done before the November release, but tragedy struck the Snyders when their daughter Autumn died by suicide. R.I.P. That is very sad. That had to be rough going through that. A month and a half later, Zack officially stepped away and Whedon was brought in. It's a whole bunch of article to read, but I guess I'll do it. Let me see. Where did we leave off at? In January 2017, he had what he considered the optimal version of Justice League. Oh, wait, we already read that part. League opened up November 17 to weak reviews and sluggish box office, eventually taking in $658 million worldwide. However, almost immediately a movement was born. Fans unhappy with the film created the now infamous hashtag a change.org petition of Warner Bros. To release the Snyder's Verse had already gained over 100,000 signatures less than 5 days after the movie's release. We serious about the Snyder Cut? Forget that the version that the fans wanted technically didn't exist. What did exist was a semi-unfinished work with no visual effects, no post-production. One person who had seen that version described it like a car with no panels. Just a drivetrain and some seats, and it sat on a hard drive in Snyder's house. When we left the movie, I just took the drive of the cut on it. Zack Snyder. I honestly never thought it would be anything. In the year following their daughter's death, the Snyders closed circles around their family as they tried to heal from the tragedy. The first year was about the milestones and the holidays, recalls Deborah Snyder. Now it's those but other moments like the songs that trigger memories that hit me unexpectedly. As Zack, as a family, as a couple, I think we have grown in a way that has made us stronger. We're doing our best. You really can't hope for more. The duo also became involved in a suicide prevention charity work and plotted a return to movies with the Army of the Dead. Meanwhile, release of Snyder Cut became more organized and visible, gaining mainstream media attention. Zack Snyder fed into the movement by occasionally teasing images from his movie or storyboards on social media, in some ways only stoking in hot embers. And he saw some of the seeds planted in his movie, especially in the castings of Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, and Momoa as Aquaman, grow into gardens as the spin-offs became pop culture phenoms and billion-dollar hits. It was on the 2-year anniversary, however, the zenith hit. The hashtag became a top world trend. Release of Snyder Cut is the most tweeted hashtag about a movie that Warner Bros. Has ever made. But it's a movie they've never released, said Snyder. It was a weird stat, but it's cool. After the Saturday morning call, the Snyders began to move puzzle pieces into place. We had to figure out what it meant to finish it and how do you pull it off, recalls Deborah. The Snyders put together a presentation and in early February invited a select group of executives from Warner Bros., HBO Max, and DC to their house in Pasadena to screen Zack's little scene version that was shown in black and white. The number of executives in the room, there were more than a dozen in attendance, ranging from Warner's Emerson to Carolyn Blackwood, Walter Hamada, and Courtney Valenti, to HBO Max's Kevin Riley, Sarah Aubrey, and Sandra Dewey, to DC's Jim Lee, showed the importance of the potential extensive undertaking. Heads of physical production and business affairs were there to assess the needed to be done and how much it will cost. At this presentation, after the screening, Snyder outlined ideas for not just releasing the cut, but the concept of the episodes and cliffhangers. The executives left the meeting pumped. The Snyder Cut was real, except then it almost wasn't. The novel coronavirus struck and Hollywood all but shut down in the mid-March, says Deborah. People thought it won't be possible to ramp up and that maybe this should go on the back burner, but we said no, this is the right time because our visual effects houses that rely on so much are running out of work, so now is the time to be doing this. It's also helped that many of those post facilities had held onto original assets. Snyder also spent April, May reaching out to the seasonable cast, giving a heads up on new development, letting them know their services may be needed. The first person called, Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, he was like, "You're kidding me, right?" Recalls Zack. There is no schedule going forward at this stage for the project, as talks are now beginning with the post-production houses, which also gives HBO Max plenty of time to find the best way to present the version of Justice League. Snyder is at the time Same time in the post of Army of Day, his zombie thriller for Netflix that will also debut in 2021. For the Snyders, the chance to revisit the movie also brings the prospect for closure on a project they were forced to let go. This movie was the culmination of a hero's journey that all these characters went on, said Deborah Snyder, and the idea was always to build them up to be the heroes people expected them to be. And while the cut will contain the many elements Zack has teased over time, yes, expect dark side. Yeah, buddy. The duo also relish adding a fair amount of character development. What's so lovely about this is we get to explore these characters in ways that you're not able to in a shorter theatrical version. The Snyders know that fan powers what led to the Snyder Cut becoming a reality. Clearly, this wouldn't be happening without them, says Zack. He also credits Warner for living up to its old reputation as the filmmaker studio. As Zack, this return to that pedigree and to let my singular version of my movie be realized in this format is a length, is unprecedented, and a brave move. We did it. I've done so many articles. We've reacted to so many articles, read articles. We've done the hashtag releasing the Snyder Cut. I've seen so many YouTubers with the same motive, release the Snyder Cut on so many videos, and it's happening. All the talk out there that the Snyder Cut wasn't real. I knew it was BS. There was no way. There was no way Zack Snyder had. There was no way. I just knew it in, and I called it in one of my old videos. We're getting the Snyder Cut, baby. 2021 HBO Max. They're about to make a lot of money on that HBO Max app. I'll be subscribing just for this reason only. And for all you Zack Snyder haters out there, for all you haters out there that don't like Zack, when this movie blows that old Justice League movie out the way and people like this new movie, they're gonna feel bad. And hold me accountable. I'm saying it right now. Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League will be 100 times better than the Justice League that we got in 2016. I didn't like that Justice League. It was okay, but I can't. It's not a movie I'll be like, oh, I want to rewatch that again and again and again. It's not. The Zack Snyder's Justice League will be 100 times better than the Justice League we got in 2016. And all you Zack Snyder haters will watch. He's about to blow it away. Hey. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought about this, man. Are you excited for the Justice League Zack Snyder version? Let me know in the comments down below. Hey, as always, hit that like, hit that sub, turn on those notifications, because we doing these videos daily. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. 100,000 subscribers is ground time, baby. Let's get it. Oh, wait a minute. Zack Snyder, I appreciate you, bro. I can't wait. I'm excited. Let's get it.